that bag that they threw the card in after buying all the pins, they're going to throw the backing cards from all those pins in that same bag, put all the pins on their pin board, on their jacket, on their book bag, and totally forget the card that you gave them. And you lost that connection point. Social.
Watch the King TV.
Whenever the seatbelt sign is on, even if the sign is off, keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience unexpected rough air. Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with crew instructions, posted placards, and lighted information signs. Smoking, including the use of e-cigarettes, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying a restroom smoke detector.
Alright, we're back, people. We're back. We're back in Florida. We just landed. We're on the way back home now. Back to home base. We did it. We did our first show. Our first ever show ever. Like, I know we've been watching, we've been studying, we've been taking notes, we've been gathering thoughts and ideas, and it finally came together. And probably from what you guys will be seeing right now, we did our first show. And I mean, honestly, I think it came out real dope. A lot of people came up to us and was like, man, like, this is your first show? I'm like, yeah, like, first show. We've never done a show ever. Like, we haven't even done local shows. We took our first attempt at doing a show all the way to New York. So we first of all, I want to thank Ricky from the Pins and Patches Expo. Thank you, bro, for the invite. We absolutely appreciate you inviting us out there over to New York. I know you're originally from LA, but we tried to make the LA event. We couldn't do it. Just scheduling came together. We just couldn't make it. So we definitely want to make sure that we make the New York event. And thank you, my dude. Thank you for the invite. We'll definitely be trying to make a lot more of your shows. Now, you guys probably want to know how it went. King of the Pin, came, we saw, we pinned, and we conquered, baby. We think it went amazing. Like I think it was a super success. It was something that I do not regret going to. I know I talked to one of the homies at the show, and he was telling me, he usually doesn't really go to the shows unless there's a certain amount of people. When he said that, I was like, yo, that's actually smart. That's actually real genius. When you go out to the shows, and if it's not an X amount of people, you don't make what you would make if there were, 80,000 people there compared to 2,000 people there. You just don't make as much as you would. I think for our first event, we did real good. We met a lot of the people that we've been following and admiring their work for so long, and we finally met them while we were up in New York. And I think just the shaking of hands and meeting people, putting faces to the Instagram accounts, I think that was well worth it in itself, besides selling more pins and making things happen. So I think it went amazing, personally. And we had a lot of fun. We definitely had a blast at the expo, for sure. Definitely some tips that I think for new creators or new people that are about to go to shows, you definitely want to do your homework. You want to do your homework on what some of the people before you are doing. Like, just if you follow a bunch of creators that you admire their work and they do shows currently, make sure you pay attention to their setups. Make sure you pay attention to how they put things together, how they set certain things up, how they advertise certain things. Pay attention to all the small details, because they'll help you, as it helped us, look more pro than you are. It'll make you look like you're on your 7th show when really you're on your first show. Some of the things that I think we should have done or we could have done better, is making sure that people know certain things are not free. We had a guy that walked up to the sticker section and kind of just took 2 stickers up and like walked off. We're like, yo, like, what are you doing? he's like, oh, these aren't free? I was like, nah, my guy, these are $2 each. These are stickers. He's like, oh, okay, I thought it was free. My bad. And I was like, nah, you good. So that's one thing. Like, I've already noted that down. Next time we do the show, we're making sure that that's very clear. We did have a price list, but we're making sure that that's super clear on the actual table. Another tip that you want to make sure that you do is bring lots and lots of business cards. Now, this tip is double-edged, because part of me wants you to follow this tip, and then the other part of me doesn't want you to follow this tip. Bring them. Why not? But look at your cards as throwaway cash. Just look at your cards as throwaway cash. And don't, if you're on edge about, or if you're running real low and cards are something that is like one of the last things that you grab, don't grab them. But if you have the bread, grab them. You know what I mean? Because again, a lot of people go to these shows, and if they walk up to your table and you're being nice to them, you welcome them to your table and whatnot, they'll look at your stuff and say, I'm not really interested in anything here. And then to find a way to get away from your table without being rude, they ask for a card, say they're going to check you out. That card never sees their eyes again. They never look at that card again. It either gets tossed or thrown in a bag with all the pins that they actually bought at the show because that's what they were interested in. And you just wasted whatever it took you to make that card. But there may be some people that are really interested in your stuff, but reach their maximum of what they wanted to spend at the expo. Some people come with a budget. They come like, I got $200. That's what I want to spend, and I don't want to spend any more than $200. Somehow, some way, they don't make it around to your table before that 200 goes, and they really love your stuff and they want to buy it later, and they take your card and actually buy it later. And if you have the cash, buy the cards. We ran out of cards. We bought, we only had like 250 or something like that, and it went real quick. I don't know how much of the 250 is gonna buy something later. Doesn't really matter, because again, I don't look at the cards as anything that's worth anything to me, because I know what people do to get away from the table. They may not do that, but whatever. Throwaway cash to me. So get cards if you want. If it's one of the last things and your budget is running low, I'd rather spend whatever money it takes me to get cards on products, personally. Now, if you don't have cards, it's not a bad thing, because what we did was, when we ran out of cards, we told people, follow us on Instagram. We gained a lot of followers just from that, just from running out of cards and forcing people to get the information or follow the brand another way other than having a card that they're going to throw away. Because guess what's going to happen? That's going to play out 2 ways. They're going to follow you on social, walk away from your table, get busy that night because they're hungry, they want to get something to eat, not remember that they followed you on social. You're going to post something the next day. You're going to post a new product next week. That product's going to pop up in their feed. What's going to happen? They're going to re-engage your brand. That bag that they threw the card in after buying all the pins, they're going to throw the backing cards from all those pins in that same bag, put all the pins on their pin board, on their jacket, on their book bag, and totally forget the card that you gave them. And you lost that connection point. Social.